So just to pull the conversation back a little bit, after covering the whole Ledger Recover um, update, I guess uh, a question that needs to be asked or addressed is should one consider wallet security to be a relative concept? Because as we've talked about it, the hardware wallet companies seems to be in this perennial struggle between saving their users from themselves and offering an actual usable and marketable product. So what's your take on this, Rex?
Well, in the pure spirit of crypto, it's supposed to be self-custody. Um, and you're supposed to be responsible for your own security and your own seed generation, your own managing of that seed phrase. That's the idea, the pure idea of cryptocurrency. Um, really, that's the way it should be. That's really what the crypto is all about. It's a different mindset than what most people are used to. But I think that the Ledger CEO kind of put it, expressed it when he said, uh, you know, how are we going to onboard the next, billion people into crypto custody? Um, the answer to the question is you should be totally responsible and security should be number one, but it doesn't always come out that way. Um, I believe it should. I would like to see everybody learn self custody and manage their own crypto wallets. But I'm not sure it's going to really come out that way. One of the things, though, that I fear with the backup recovery service and the company helping protecting the user from themselves is that will slowly erode the independence and the decentralization of crypto. That's my fear. But by the same token, I would like to see Granny and Uncle Jim uh, learn to self custody crypto to a certain extent, with a little help from their friends. Because that'll help the entire industry as a whole, right? So I think there'll always be that central core of people that are really into self custody and managing their own security. I think that's important for people to learn that skill. But I also think that having those people kind of on the periphery that need a little help will also help introduce people to cryptocurrency in general. But yeah, I mean, I agree. It's really against the spirit of cryptocurrency and self custody to have people relying on a third party to manage their seed phrase.
Yeah, absolutely agree with you there. I think yeah, like you said before, the whole crypto ethos is, do it yourself, don't trust anyone else, don't trust verify. And it probably is imperative to start newcomers into the space on the right foot, right?
Mm-hmm.
To teach them about these principles and not to be overly reliant on, a safety net managed by a
Mm-hmm.
third party. So yeah, absolutely. Um, so I guess moving on to a slightly lighter topic in a conversation. Um, so as we've covered before, you manage a YouTube channel with a lot of success, and you've worked with a lot of different wallet teams to do tutorials and reviews for these hardware wallets. So what is the overall experience of working with these wallet teams, and is there any wallet team that stand out in particular, or any bad experiences that you might have had? Yeah, but do you mind sharing some of that?
No, not at all. Early on, early on, I had my own ledger. And I remember I had some problem with the Ledger website, and I contacted them and introduced myself and said, "Yeah, my name's CryptoDad. I do videos, tutorials, and I need a little help, with I forget what the issue was." And they replied, "We know who you are." And I was like, "Oh wow, that's pretty cool." Um, that was a good experience. Um, and generally, if I would run across a brand new wallet that I was interested in, at first I felt a little self conscious about it, but I would introduce myself and ask them, I do crypto tutorial and I would really like one of your wallets. I didn't want to have to pay for it. So that was my first method. I would just say, "Hey, I would like to do a video on your wallet. Would you send me one?" And they would usually. And so that's how I got a lot of early hardware wallets in my hands. Trezor was very nice about sending me their wallets. Um, so they've generally been a pretty good experience. Now they've changed over the years, and then there are other times as my channel grew, I would have some wallet companies contact me directly, like um, Phantom Wallet in particular. Which is started out as a wallet for Solana, which, by the way, you can use with a Ledger device, and I believe Trezor too. And they contacted me and they said, would you mind doing a video on our wallet? And by that time, I had gained enough followers to where I could say, well, yeah, I would, but I would like compensation. And I based that compensation on my number of subscribers. And that was because I checked around with other YouTubers and they said, yeah, that's basically, a good measure of how much you're worth, to them. And so I've done a few where I was paid. Ballet Wallet has paid me to do some of their reviews. Um, and, I don't really see any conflict of interest there. This is my gig, this is my thing. I don't think that it's a corruption of any kind for a company to pay me to evaluate their wallets. I've done it quite a bit. It's not like it's an energy drink or something that I'm not knowledgeable about. So I've done both methods. I've done it where I just request a free wallet in exchange for a review, and then there are other times where they've actually compensated me to do a review. As far as companies that are good or bad experiences, I have to say that over the years, Ledger has and this is not all them, a lot of it is regulations and whatnot, but over time they were added some hoops that I had to jump through. I have to invoice them. I don't believe I've ever done KYC with them as far as uploading documents, but I have had to produce an invoice which has my personal information on it. But over the years, Satoshi Labs, which is the Trezor device, has always sent me Bitcoin based on the affiliate links, clicks that they've gotten, right? And they've never really forced me to do anything over and above that. And I always thought that was kind of cool that I would just see Bitcoin coming. And when in the early days, I would see Bitcoin coming into my wallets, and I was like, "Where'd that come from?" And I'd have to kind of trace it back and figure out, "Oh, that's from Satoshi Labs," or "Oh, that's from Ledger." I mean, the first couple of affiliate earnings that I got from Ledger, it was like, wow, Bitcoin just appeared. But, because of blockchain, I figured it out, so, oh yeah, they're paying me commissions. So, yeah, I really, I like Satoshi Labs. I think they're pretty cool, and they've always made it really easy, and painless. They send me Bitcoin. I can't argue with that. Um, I don't. I've had a few negative experiences with some companies that really weren't like a crypto. I had one crypto company that asked me to do a video, and we had agreed that they were going to pay me, and then they never did. But that's to be expected sometimes, in this space. I looked at the token that, when it finally debuted, and it's pretty much worthless. So, I mean, I can't really complain too much. That I get it. They probably were pretty bummed out about their coin not really taking off. So I understand.
As Victor would know, I am like a neat freak sometimes. I have OCD. For me personally, whenever I'm testing out a new wallet and having to put money in it and then I guess keeping track of that wallet afterwards, the whole process gives me anxiety. I can only imagine like you having like one room dedicated for your wallet reviews and then just having dozens of wallets scattered all over with money all over in it. Like, how do you keep
That's
up with all the
exactly
wallets that
what
you
my
have?
office looks like. Yeah, that's right. That's exactly what it's like. I did want to bring up we were talking about people. We didn't really want people relying on third parties, but there are other solutions like Ballet, which I mentioned, where the user doesn't have to write down their private key. The private key is on the card on the back. And so it eliminates that degree of difficulty, that step. Tangem also has a solution similar where they have the private key is stored on RFDI. I don't know if I said that acronym correctly, but they store the private key on the local cards. You never have to write it down. But both of these wallets suffer from the something of high value that you can lose disadvantage. And a lot of people have contacted me. I've done videos for Tangem, I've done videos for Ballet, and they'll say something like, well, what if you lose this? Then you'll lose your crypto. And I always come back and go, yeah, I've never heard anyone tell me not to buy gold because I might lose it, or, maybe you better not buy your wife that engagement ring. She might lose it, It's like a ridiculous fear, if you ask me. So yeah, I mean, those wallets do a really good job of making the process simple, and it's still a very secure wallet. But it does need to be, you have to, have your own self security to manage those types of wallets, right? Don't lose them, put them in a safe place, that kind of stuff.